What's going on, Virgo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be a monthly, what are we doing, Virgo? It's business spread. Just like, geez. And we're going to find a way how you can articulate in your business, how you can expand on your abundance. It's going to be a good old time, Virgo, I promise. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, all that word salad, let's jump into it. Well, guess what, Virgo? Your space has been cleansed. Gems, articulate as ever. Just good energy all around here, Virgo. So, Virgo, with this spread, I'm going to be going until Higher Self says stop. We're just going with the flow here. And just so you're all aware, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so just apply the energies to people as they make sense for your situation, okay? And then lastly, the decks that I'm using. This one that I'm shuffling, so OG deck, is the Aleister Crowley Stealth deck. And the Oracle deck that I'm going to be using is the Anatomy of a Witch Oracle deck. And I'll include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested, Virgo. But let's give this a few more shuffles here. And we'll see what's going on with your energy. Higher Self's cooking up something big in the mix for you, Virgo. Oh, okay. Thanks, Higher Self. Now this is going to look awkward, Virgo. So, we got the 7 of this to start us off here. Higher Self. So, Virgo, let's talk about this, Virgo. Because with the 7 of disc, are we going to do more? Because with the 7 of disc, this is a card of failure, and I feel like that, maybe for some of us, as I said that, maybe we have something big cooking up in the mix, and maybe some of us may be in this place right now where maybe if we let's say if we started up a business, maybe things aren't taking off like we thought they might, maybe, however it could be, Virgo, maybe there's something going on with like inventory, maybe we're having trouble finding clients, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe whatever it is, maybe we've invested more in something than we thought, however this is looking at for you, Virgo, maybe it's, if something is going down for you right now, we're kind of worried about maybe if our business is going to fail, I say take a moment, just kind of breathe for a second, and it's just like kind of evaluate the situation here. What's going on right now? Okay, if we're noticing that there are clients, okay, maybe what are some ways that we can expand our outreach? Maybe we can start networking with maybe some friends or some family, maybe start helping push some stuff out. Or let's say maybe for some others, I feel like, this could be too, Virgo, maybe for some of us, maybe we may be thinking about starting up something new, but maybe we've had a failure in the past and we're not sure if we're feeling a little hesitant, based off like a past failure, possibly if we're feeling, if we're kind of nervous about starting something here, Virgo. And if that's the case, I say, Virgo, failures to me, they're actually really good lessons. They may not feel like it in the moment, and yeah, Virgo, it may not feel like it in the moment. But there is wisdom that is coming from here because, if let's say maybe if we started off a business and let's say maybe things went flop, maybe we weren't thinking about who our target audience was at the time. Maybe the product just wasn't relevant during this time. Maybe whatever factors it in. If anything, failures gives you information. It gives you feedback. It's like, I noticed that maybe I rushed this thing here, or maybe maybe I should have invested more, or maybe I could have invested more here. And then when you go to start for your next one, then you can kind of work out the kinks, Virgos. Failures, they're going to happen, but we shouldn't be afraid to fail, Virgo. That's where the growth happens. And be kind to yourself when you're going through these experiences, because sometimes I feel like when we do, maybe if we make like a bad judgment call or something along those lines, we can get into this place of where, we start telling ourselves just all kinds of stuff and being overly critical. In Virgo, that's like one of the big generalizations for Virgo is you being overly critical, and not just of others. I really feel like that, sure, can Virgos be overly critical of others? Sure, but so can anybody else. But I feel like Virgo, yours more specifically here, I feel like the things that you might tell others, I can't even imagine what you must tell yourself. If we're in this kind of headspace here, if we're being cruel to ourselves, because really cruelty, I feel like, yeah, sure, you can be cruel to others, but I feel like cruelty really kind of stems from within, because that's where I think that some of the nastiness can really start getting cooked up here. And Virgo, that's going to affect how you operate in business, whether you own one or whether you're working in one. This could be too, Virgo, maybe for some of us, if we're working in something, maybe something with our company has failed, maybe we've I'm not sure, Virgo, maybe some of us may be kind of out on our luck right now. Maybe some of us might be unemployed and we're going through like the interview process, let's say. Maybe this is something where we're trying to get something and it's been like, I'll tell you what, Virgo, the interview process is just grueling. Maybe we're in this place right now where it's been just like back to back to back to back to back, just battering your self-esteem here, So now we got on top of you, whatever you may be telling yourself, we have others kind of feeding into this Nine of Swords party too, because what I like to talk about with this Nine of Swords is like it usually just starts with one thought, and then once we indulge that, once he gets a taste for blood, then he's calling all of his friends, and then it becomes a whole mess there, Virgo. And when we get in that space there, Virgo, I get where if something happens, we might be kind of beating up on ourselves. That may be one route, like our instinctual route that we take. But I feel like with the Nine of Swords, this is Mars and Gemini, and it invites us to take maybe another route. It presents almost like a crossroads. It's like, sure, we can stay on this negative path, kind of beat ourselves up or whatever, or we can process what happened in this situation here. It's like, okay, this company was looking for this. Maybe how can I highlight this skill? And it doesn't take away from the suck, but it can take away how we operate in the future here, there, Virgo. So just something to think about more while when we're going through this energies, because really failures, they really are. Failures are a tricky thing, Virgo. It can be seen as one of these things that where we've let ourselves down. We can paint it as this, because, maybe another thing for some others, if we're thinking about, even if we haven't started a business before, maybe we're thinking about maybe even doing like a career shift, possibly. Maybe that's something where we might fail, maybe before we've even started off, we get excited about the idea, but then we think about, well, how am I going to pay for this thing? I need X amount of resources, then I need this, and then I'm going to need blah, 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 I'm going to need partners. Well, I don't have any of this stuff. Well, then maybe I'm just meant to do. You see how that spiral happens there, Virgo? It's all illusions. These are things that we're telling ourselves. If we're thinking about maybe starting up something new, here's a different mentality to maybe try. Instead of focusing on all the things that you don't have, Virgo, because it could be, maybe if, for example, if we think we don't have like enough money, okay, what do you have? Instead of focusing on what you don't have, and then work with that. Okay, I may not be able to get this. Let's say I may not be able to rent out like a 10,000 foot building. You know, Virgo, I don't have like a business space, so you know, we're just spitballing here. You know, I may not be able to afford a 10,000 square room space, but maybe I can afford like a half that, you know, and maybe just start there, and then as we start cooking up, and then start more revenue starts coming in, then expand from there. But Virgo, we have to start somewhere, because here's the thing: if we don't start at all, then yeah, you failed, because you didn't even do anything. And actually, no, you didn't even fail, because you got to do something to fail. So Virgo, this wouldn't even apply if we don't even take the initiative. You can't fail or succeed. You're just stagnant. And I think that almost may be worse than failure, because at least from failure, at least there's an opportunity for growth. You know, there's an opportunity for you to learn something, to enhance your skills. And you know what, too, Virgo? When you get further along on this, whatever you start, maybe then you can start yourself like a side course, you know, if you're starting up our own business, and then help some others along, you know, show them your mistakes that you've made, so that you can help them not make the same mistakes again, you know, help them see through the illusions, help them see that they can rise up, that the stuff that we tell ourselves is all usually in our heads there, Virgo. And I get it, you know, where situations can come into the mix here, Virgo. You know, maybe we're thinking the job that we want is in a whole different state, you know, or maybe we're thinking that whatever it is that's maybe stopping us from transitioning through this taking this new opportunity, because the moon can be a card of trusting, you know, of trusting your instincts, and going in the dark, and going into uncertainty. You know, we may win, we may fail. Honestly, we're probably going to do both, Virgo. But again, we're going to grow from this stuff. The moon is not trying to scare you from this thing. If anything, the moon needs your light, Virgo. Because here's the thing: that scarab beetle down there, that's you, Virgo, and what you're carrying there, that's the sun. And I'll tell you what, the moon reflects the sun. And when you bring your light through that gate, everything is going to shine on this, Virgo. And whatever it is that you want to accomplish, it can take off there. But it's about taking those risks, and taking calculated risk, making this work for your situation, because I get it. But if we focus on, again, the lack, then that's all you're going to have is lack thereof. When we should focus on, okay, I got this. You know what? I got maybe you just have your space, you know, start up a home office, you know, make this situation work for you, Virgo. But I feel like if anyone can do it, you can, because Virgos are really, you have such an analytical mind and how you can break stuff down. It's like, okay, if anyone, I saw Virgo magic at work the other day. There was something that was going down where they needed some kind of organization went down, and I'll tell you what, this Virgo went to work. She had the stuff went down, had this stuff by Excel chart, had the stuff by names, had the stuff color coded, had different tabs. I mean, Virgo, when you're focused on something, you can get it done. It's just finding that focus, finding that thing that speaks to you more, and then pursuing that, figuring out the ways that you can get this off the ground, Virgo. And whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to, let's say if we're working as an accountant and you want to, I don't know, maybe you want to open up your own restaurant. Why not? You're great with numbers, so get those numbers crunching. You know what I mean, Virgo? Play to your strengths. Look at that, Virgo. Maybe I'll start something. And that's something too, Virgo. You know, I'm always talking, when I think about your energies, Virgo is the sign of service, you know, and I mean that in the sense of that you can really improve people. You know, when I think about like, even in just like in the terms of like maybe like holistic healers or life coaches or any sort of thing that I feel like, if just for examples, Virgo, you know, thinking about your energy, any sort of thing that promotes that kind of because Virgo is another thing too when I'm thinking about the motivation and stuff. You know, Virgo is very, very health conscious. I think of the zodiac, Virgo is the most health conscious. You know, you're very much, I feel like, are very conscientious of your health and take good care of yourselves. You know, when Virgo is very, you know, balanced out, and I feel like that's. You're almost like the shamans or the healers of the zodiacs. You know, you really can improve people because that's what your energy does. It helps. It it gets everything in line. You just make like a just get everything in order, Virgo. And I really feel like, Virgo, if you just took some of that energy and really focused in on yourself and what it is that you want, and if we're not sure what that is, explore that, Virgo, and then go for it, because there's something here for you, because here's the thing, Virgo. If we keep going down a path that is not meant for us, and when I say not meant for us, if we go against things or we keep doing things that don't resonate with us, then we're going to get to this place of burnout. And then we're like finding that fulfillment and stuff. It's like asking for water. It's like going to the desert looking for water. You know what I mean? It's like, why Virgo. I feel like, and we don't even got a lot of cards, Virgo. We got a whole bunch we're unpacking here. I just feel like that when we stay in energies like this, it hinders our growth. It's if we're staying in it, if we're not learning the lessons from it, because sometimes too, when we don't want to deal with our stuff, we project outwards. We fix all the other stuff in other people because we don't want to focus on ourselves. But Virgo, I find when you focus on yourself, that's when the magic happens. That's when interesting. That's so funny. That's when we focus on ourselves, because this the six of swords here. This is directed knowledge, Virgo, or directed. This is like directing our energy, focusing on something. And when we do, Virgo, when you focus on yourselves, I really feel like what can unlock from that could be extraordinary. You could be the next. I feel like Virgos would make even good, maybe oh, what am I thinking? Even as far as psychologist, or even get into the mental health realm, something along those lines, Virgo, because your energy is it's very nurturing. It's earth energy. Earth energy is so healing. And I think too, Virgo, I feel sometimes too with earth energy, because you're so connected to the material plane than other elements are, that sometimes I feel like our energy is a little misguided. I feel like that it's more so kind of focused on more sort of the material things than the fulfillment. And that's not to say that you're not doing stuff that doesn't fulfill you, Virgo, but I feel like that there's more, we could be a little more, I feel like, involved in our craft, or the thing that's calling to you, if we just kind of focus in on that and really pour our intellect and all of our energies into that, and getting, again, a game plan, as far as how we can go about this stuff. Absolutely. Here's the thing I think too with dreams, anymore. Here's the things I think too with dreams too. The Hanged Man this is a redemption through sacrifice. And when it comes to our dreams and what we want to pursue in life, Virgo, I feel like it comes to how much are you willing to give up, With the Hanged Man, this is about welcoming in new perspectives. If old ways of operating aren't working, then it's time to let those things go. How much are we willing to let go? That's the sacrifice that I'm talking about, of old ways of operating. If you've been, let's say, I'm even thinking too, maybe with this Nine of Swords, maybe some of us are in a toxic work environment. Maybe that's something where maybe some people are maybe you're thinking about, possibly, wanting to go for that promotion or go for that whatever. And we may have people too that's like, oh, Virgo, you don't stand, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to even do that? This company sucks, blah, blah, blah. And if we're in something like that too, Virgo, it's just like that type of stuff is going to hinder our growth, and it's going to it's going to throw our trajectory all kinds of off here. And so, Virgo, I feel like the thing for you, because we really don't have a whole bunch of cards here, but this is I feel like for your business, I even think too, Virgo, that maybe some of us might want to consider even maybe changing up our scenery a little bit. Maybe if we're seeing that there are not many opportunities around us, maybe that's something too, with when I was talking about the interview, maybe if we've hit up all the jobs around our areas and the job market's not seeming too hot, maybe that's something too. Maybe think about relocation somewhere, because both of these cards, the Six of Swords and the Seven of Swords, these both are, of all the cards in the deck, these specifically talk about travel. I want to say this is journey by sea and this is journey by land. So however this means, Virgo, maybe we want to think, maybe think in our country, maybe think internationally, possibly. And again, Virgo, if we're thinking like, oh, I don't have the resources for this, I don't have the X, I don't have the Y, well, here's another thing. Are you happy with what you're doing? Because then if you're not, you also don't have happiness. And then so let's find that, again, focus on what you do have. And then let's work with those stuff. If we're thinking that a move is too expensive, well, working for a place that you don't, it's like I feel like what we're willing to sacrifice, Virgo, is not proportional. You know what I mean? And I feel like it might benefit you to gear it more towards things that you want to do. Direct your energy towards things that make sense instead of putting our stuff towards things that burn us out here, Virgo. Because that's, again, doing stuff like this, that's the quickest way to get us into this weird kind of headspace here where we're spiraling, and then it's just going to lower our self-esteem down, and then we're looking back 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line and wondering, thinking about all the opportunities that we could have taken. Because here's the thing, Virgo, I don't feel like that we miss out on opportunities. Opportunities come up for us whenever we're ready to rise up to the occasion, but it gets a little trickier, and the opportunity, how we have to go about dealing with the opportunity changes. So I feel like when these signals pop up for you, these opportunities to maybe pursue other things, Virgo, because even with this reading here, I know again this is not a lot of cards here, but you got a lot of swords here. And again, I don't know if I had mentioned, with the Mercurial energy, you got that active mind with Mercury being your ruler. And even if it's not in your sun sign, if it's in your moon or your rising, or wherever your placements, Mercury is still a sub-ruler. And so there's still that influence, you know what I mean? And if we're thinking too much out of this, Virgo, I feel like, again, take this moment, get out of your, step back from the situation. And, maybe if this is not about maybe traveling outside of your where you're at, Virgo, this could be maybe even changing up your environment to maybe think of some fresh perspectives. If we've tried different ideas and they haven't been hitting, maybe go to a lake, maybe go to the mountains, go for a hike, whatever, go for a swim, well, go somewhere, I don't know about going for a swim where I'm at, but maybe go somewhere warm and then go for a swim, Virgo, something, that might even provide some of that that fresh perspective that we might need. Because sometimes too, just removing yourself from the energies, that being when you're in a space for so long, getting out of that helps kind of breathe in some new inspiration here. And then who knows, you might be, your failure may turn into, because you know what, Virgo, I'll tell you sometimes, I remember when I would write like some music, and we're going to shift to some oracle cards. There'd be some times when I would write some music and I'd start doing one thing and then I would do something I remember especially with one song, I remember I shifted the key of the song by accident, and I happened to, when I was going to go change it back and I hit the space bar and it played, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much better. And that's what failures do, Virgo. Something, and I know that's not like not like a prime example, but it's like from failures, new inspirations can come. It's just like it's a trial and error. But then when we get something that hits, Virgo, we follow that, and you see go down that rabbit hole and see what can open up for you. The moon is inviting you. It's inviting you to journey into the unknown here. Virgo, Here is your energy, and it's in reverse. And more. And with the earth energy popping up, I feel like that some of us, when I was talking about that, because Virgo, I really do think, and I know maybe not healing may not be for everyone, but I really feel like when I really feel like that Virgo as a sign would really make good healers, good, like any being maybe working with plants, maybe getting touching with the earth. There's this thing that I was thinking about. There's this stuff, grounding, or earthing, that may be something too, working with something like that. They're really cool. You get these patches and they're good for inflammation. It's a whole thing. Look into that, Virgo. But I just feel like that there may be, I almost feel like that some of us like might benefit from getting back out in nature, kind of seeing how the earth kind of heals. And that's just what higher self has been, kind of, I feel like the energy's kind of leading me towards Virgo, because I feel like earth signs, I feel like that it's been geared, the energy's been geared so, again, towards the material stuff, so heavy that you forget, or that I feel like that the emphasis should be more on just like, again, how you can just, how you interact physically with the world, I remember working with a Virgo, was like I was trying to change careers and I wasn't sure where I wanted to go, and then they gave me, this person gave me suggestions, and at first, it wasn't quite my jam, but they were working with my skill set at the time, and it may not have worked out in the long run, but for that period of time, Virgo, that person helped me to be the best in that field, and I actually achieved more than I thought that I could, and you know what? Even when that didn't work out for me, it showed me that I can rise up to the occasion. And that's what your energy does, Virgo. I feel like that you really can help people give back their self-esteem. Look at this, Virgo. You got the death card in reverse here. I feel like that sometimes that people feel like that this is kind of how they feel. It's like, the life, they start off with all this life and then it's just it, And I feel like that you breathe in that confidence. It's just like, where if they're feeling down like this, you turn that upside down. You help this soul nurture and make a whole new mighty tree, That's where I feel like your energy, and whatever it is that you choose to do, Virgo, I feel like if you put your energy, look at all this earth here, trees, look at this, Virgo, the seeds, planting, Virgo, I feel like some of us might be, or Virgo, maybe some of us, do you have any plants around, Virgo? Because if not, I feel like maybe go out there and buy yourself a plant. Why a plant? I'm not sure, but well, you know what? Why a plant? Because of this earth card here. I feel like maybe tending to something, maybe get into this place, do something for yourself. I feel like that, and something for yourself where it's like, find a plant that you love and nurture that thing. Keep it something that's personal to you. And then I feel like that maybe when you start forming that connection with that thing, maybe this will kind of help help nurture yourself, Virgo, anymore. Yes, I'm just sitting here just shuffling and talking. I was like, are we actually doing anything? But just something to think about, Virgo. And I know that they were getting a little bit away from business, but if we're ignoring our calling, Virgo, then you're going to be miserable in business. There would be no point, because Virgo, I don't feel like that you could, not that I don't think, if we're in like a weird financial situation or something like that, but Virgo, I feel like that when it comes to manifesting resources, I feel like you can do that, Virgo. Let's switch back over here, Virgo, because you got the new moon card here. I feel like more planting stuff, Virgo. I feel like, Virgo, this reading is asking some of you, if we haven't started something, if we feel like we've been in a rut, if we're not feeling satisfied, if this, because now your last card here is the smell card in reverse. And if there's if we're in an environment that's just like we get to this feeling of I'm just getting like if it doesn't resonate with you. Ooh, hold on, baby. Oh, hold on there, Virgos. See, speaking of things, come here, King. Oh, look at this moose. Oh, come here, moose. Virgo, I feel like, oh, okay. Virgo, we have a cat in the mix. Come here, baby. Even Da Vinci feels like that we might need to do something new here, Virgo. Shake things. Da Vinci, come here, Libra. I can't work like this. There you go, Virgo, a little extra treat for you. Even the animals are trying to get in touch with you, Virgo. I feel like maybe some of us might get in touch with it, but what was I talking about? Dissonance. If we're feeling like things have been kind of monotonous, Virgo, or that we're not feeling satisfied, or that we want something more, Virgo, I feel like that this is something that you're just going to have to manifest. I feel like that this is something where, create something new. I was thinking with the smell card, if you don't like the smells of anything that of where you're at, create a new smell. Manifest something different, something that works for you, Virgo. And I feel like that when you do, it's going to, I feel like that, because when I really think about the new moon energy, we just had a new moon in Pisces not too long ago. So I know we're already kind of in the cycle, but it's never too late, Virgo, to start something, putting something into motion, and I feel like with time, if we just take that leap of faith and really trust that, you can really manifest, Virgo, whatever you want, and really, it's going to be fantastic, Virgo. So just something to think about, okay? But I think I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. And again, Virgo, those are just some of the things, because I was just thinking about when I was talking about, pushing for like healers and stuff, I'm not telling you that that's all Virgos can do, but it's just something to think about, and maybe in some ways that just anything that you want to do, Virgo, that can really help raise that vibration and really help others. Because I just feel like that's where I feel like I don't have a lot of, I don't have really any strong, I have a Virgo placement in like a comet or something like that. But I just feel like that Virgo energy really can be, there just can be just an amazing group of healers, and whatever that looks like. Maybe you could be like, it doesn't even maybe necessarily have to get in touch with like the physical, like it may be like plants or medicine. Maybe you can be like an internet healer. Maybe you're someone who's really good, real tech savvy, because Mercury covers, technology and whatnot. Maybe you're something good. Maybe you're real good with your hands. Maybe being like something with like, with cars or maybe with pets, Da Vinci, maybe we work with animals, something, Virgo. But I just feel like that when we're improving stuff, and that's where I feel like you really shine. That's where I feel like that maybe where more avenues for possible fulfillment will open up for you, Virgo. Maybe you're a home healer, maybe you help people. Think broad, Virgo. We're just scratching the surface here, But whatever it is that you want, I'm just throwing seeds all over the place, Virgo. Whatever it is that speaks to you, go find that thing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Virgo. That was nice. I enjoyed that, and I hope you did too. And if you did, give that a thumbs up, Virgo, and share this. When we think about like failure and all the ways that we can like really talk ourselves out of situations, and it's there to help us grow, Virgo. And it might feel like just like in that moment. But again, when that next day, maybe even like an hour from now, or from when that failure happens, it's like, okay, that went down. What can I do differently? What could I have done better? put a list down, and you know what, even in that failure, what hit, because I'm sure there was even some goodness in there, there was at least a little nugget in there. It's just like, even find that, what hit, and then the stuff that didn't, removing that from the equation, and then you found your son. You found your son, Virgo, and then we plant that seed. Now we're planting seeds. We're going through the reading all over again, Virgo. So you share this thing. I was just telling Gemini this. I do that every time when we talk about the share stuff. Am I going to fix it? Probably not. So just hang in there, Virgo. And then subscribe, hit that bell button if you haven't already. It's like, what do we do after that? And then lastly, here, Virgo, I mean, you got the moon here, and this is Pisces card, but why Pisces is the moon when it's Cancer's ruler is beyond me. Nature of our problem. I have to talk with Pisces about that. But all that to say, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Virgo, or maybe we want to partner up with a Cancer, try to understand how we tick here. Oh, that's so show that we're crazy. We're not crazy, Virgo, I promise. Come check out my channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans bet. We talk about every new moon. And you know what, Virgo? I'll tell you what, we're in a new supermoon cycle right now. It's been back-to-back new supermoons, Virgo. The moon has been just like opportunities aplenty. What do you want? I'm for real. It's been good energy. So come check that out, Virgo. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here so I can get you out of. Look at you, Queen of Swords, and look at you, Clarity. I love that. Queen of Swords for the win. And what we got for our Oracle card here? Okay, we got the Banished card in reverse here. And Virgo, I feel like this Banished card is signifying that the old ways of thinking, that we're a failure, that we can't start up anything, that we don't have the resources, whatever it is that's hindering you from leveling up, maybe whatever it is, either from taking that taking that supervisor, manager, CEO position, starting up your own business, partnering up maybe with someone, whatever it is, Virgo. I feel like it's about letting that kind of stuff go here. Write down all your insecurities. I feel I'm just looking at this little note here. Maybe some symbolism might help. Write down some of these failures here, some of these fears, these anxieties that you may have. And then in a safe space, Virgo, have some water here, but maybe set this stuff to maybe take it outside. Be careful, Virgo, even outside, be careful. In a controlled, safe environment, maybe light those things on fire. Again, maybe that symbolism will kind of help you it might bring a new perspective. And here's the thing, Virgo, sometimes I think too, sometimes we can feel kind of alone in this, and where I may not be with you physically, spiritually, I'm gonna kick it with you, especially in a hanged man situation. I'm gonna kick it with you until we get down from that thing, until you're ready to come down, and then we're ready to share this enlightenment with the world. Share that knowledge that you have, that realization that you can accomplish whatever you want. You know what? I bet you prior to her sitting on these throne of clouds, that people probably told the Queen of Swords that she's crazy. Girl, you can't get up on those you can't get up on those clouds. There's no possible way. And she said, bet. And then she even brought that person, that naysayer, she brought a trophy with her. Now, Virgo, don't go taking heads, but let's not be too extreme. The Queen, some of these queens, she's not as hard. She's like, sidebar, she's like the second hardest Queen of Swords that I think I have in this deck. There's one other one, like she means business. But she is not playing around. And Virgo, I feel like that you're not playing around either. When it comes to your goals and whatnot, go whatever it is that you want. Follow because here's the thing too, the queens in these decks, the queens represent water and the swords represent air, so she's the watery part of air. And I feel like this is Libra energy. And I feel like, Virgo, when our head and our heart is in alignment and we take action as when we're at our clearest, when we're not in this Nine of Swords storm here, then we're able to grow these seeds, all this garden that you got, because this is a garden, Virgo, that you're getting ready to tend to, and it's going to be all that abundance that I was talking about. You are the, honestly, Virgo, with all these kind of like seed cards here, you're the first sign that's really, I feel like you're getting ready to just build whatever it is that you want, manifest it from bring it from the dome to the home, and just watch that puppy grow. So you reap what you sow, Virgo. So start sowing some seeds, sow some goodness, and raise that vibration through the roof, because you got the energy right here for it. So, all right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. Oh yeah, kept you the longest here, Virgo. Look at that, kept you here the longest, because you got so much growth and potential here. So, and Virgo, oh, last little bit, Virgo. I think so far of the ones that I've done, you might have had the least amount of cards, but you've gotten the most amount of time, you know, and I feel like that and I hope that it wasn't just like empty stuff here, you know, but you see what we were working with? We got so much out of this, even just this little bit. So be resourceful, Virgo. You're a mutable sign. Mutable signs are adaptable. When a situation calls for it, if you gotta shift things up, switch it up, Virgo, because you can. You know, it's inherent in you, and you're blessed of being the most flexible of the earth signs, as far as the most adaptable here. So you're almost like, it's almost like sand, you know, it's fluid how you can move. And then when you refine that stuff, and you can make glass, Virgo, so, and it's priceless, you know, sand. Okay, Virgo, till next time, because I'm about to get back into your reading. So stay safe out there, Virgo. And I'm not kidding, Virgo. Go plant a garden. Go plant whatever this garden is that you're getting ready to plant. I want to see just abundance, Virgo. And then leave a signature, Virgo. And I will catch you on the next one later.